have the utmost privilege of being your K-12 Performing Arts Coordinator. Welcome to our LHS fall band concert. We are so excited to be performing for you tonight. It's amazing having the community come together. I think about where we were at the beginning of the school year last year and where we are now. It's just nice to have music back in such a more natural way. The students have worked exceptionally hard. Everybody from the symphonic band, concert band, wind ensemble, you're in for a real treat. I also have to say a huge thank you to all of you for supporting music education. It's also amazing to see so many of our alumni coming back to our concert tonight to see their peers perform, so thank you for that. And without further ado, we're going to start with a symphonic band conducted by Mr. Foreman and Mr. Armati. Thank you so much.
case it wasn't clear, I am Mr. Foreman, and that one is Mr. Armani. I know that we're just to make sure it's all clear. Just want to say thank you all so much for coming out tonight. Mr. Armani and I have such a blast working with these students. We work with them first or second block every day, and even though it's early in the morning, they always bring such a positive spirit and energy to everything they do. And it's honestly, I think it's the most fun we have all day. At least, yeah. So anyway, we have one more piece for you. This is Creed by William Hayes.
evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I want to start by saying, echoing something that has already been said, which is thank you so much for supporting what we do here. In the end, nothing that I do works unless they're here, and they're not here unless you support them. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for making sure that they feel supported in participating and that they come open-minded to what we try to do with them. So thank you so much for that. I also wanted to say that I'm so excited that this is in no way against any other ensembles at the school, but I love the fact that this is a band concert. I love the fact that I get to share the stage with two band colleagues who I feel the closest to ever in my career beyond any other band directors I've worked with. Mr. Foreman creates some of the most incredibly well-crafted lesson plans I've ever watched in my life. Mr. Cassidy brings such incredible passion to every rehearsal, and I try to figure out how to make those two things happen in one place, although they're both also doing the other thing. So I don't really know where I stand, somewhere in the middle. But in any case, they give me a very high bar to live up to every day, and I'm very grateful for it. I'm so glad that it's all band kids in the audience. I'm so glad that it's all band parents. It's just it's a band night that makes me so happy. I think that it's easy to take an either-or attitude towards the effect the pandemic has had on us. And I think it's easy, I said this to these guys in the warm-up room, it's easy to kind of look at the pandemic with rose-tinted glasses or the opposite. I don't know what the opposite of rose-tinted glasses is. Please don't tell me if you figure it out. But in any case, actually, no, do tell me if you figure it out. I'd really like to know. But anyway, I just think that in my case, I actually do think I came out of it with a reaffirmation of what is really important. It's amazing what happens to a performing ensemble when you take away the opportunity to perform. And I think you start thinking about the whole conversation of process versus products. And I know now that before the pandemic, I was completely product oriented, even though I said I wasn't, and even though I said I was all about the process. I realized that concerts had become deadlines for me, and it was all about meeting the deadline and doing the very best that we could, which of course is important. But having a year and a half of literally where all the class was getting together and experiencing each other, I realized how far I had gotten away from that. And so I think this is, I can definitely say, I never want to say the most, but this has been one of the most enjoyable years of my career so far, in terms of working with these students and what it feels like to rehearse with them every day. Yeah, I'm not sure what more to say about that other than it's been a really good feeling this year. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for that. We're going to perform actually two separate pieces tonight. We're going to perform the folk song suite, sometimes erroneously referred to as the English folk song suite. Folk song suite by Ralph Vaughan Williams, and then another piece that he wrote, Sea Songs. When the first piece, folk song suite, was premiered, it was a 4-movement work where Sea Songs was the 4th movement. I love both pieces, and I thought they were well suited to this band, so I thought we would play them both and we would treat them like one piece. So I guess it's traditional not to clap in between movements. We're going to make it hard for you, trust me. You're really going to want to clap. No, I'm kidding. Well, no, I'm not kidding, actually. I don't know. Am I kidding? I don't know. Anyway, so anyway, whatever it is, that happens, I guess we'll see. But just so you know, even though the Sea Songs on the program doesn't have a 4 next to it, we are treating it like the 4th movement. Anyway, we hope you enjoy.
Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful concert so far. Can we get another round of applause for our symphonic band and concert band? And I must echo what Mr. Armani said. It's amazing to have all of our band students here tonight, all of you supporting our band program. Working with Mr. Foreman, Mr. Armani is a highlight of my career here in Lexington. Can we give them a round of applause, please? So here we come to the wind ensemble, and I am always so grateful to have every single rehearsal, every moment to make music with these students that are standing behind me. We are working on a variety of pieces of music. In previous years, and this year's none the same, we always focus on supporting music written by underrepresented composers, about music that's about social justice issues, things like that. Our first piece is by Kataj Copley. He is a Black composer, and he wrote Halcyon Hearts as a plea for love. And if you think about that, seems kind of like a cheesy kind of thing. One other thing in the program notes, if you notice, it says love trusts, love perseveres, and love never fails. And in this world that we're living in, it's so important that we have that connection to connection for one each other. Additionally, it was once said to me that music is how feelings sound. You know, it's hard to put into words sometimes. And what I love about this piece and working with this ensemble is that there's a direct connection about the music that we're making, that sound we're making, to really elicit a range of emotions. So this piece is really for these students. It's really about our experience of making music together. And we hope you enjoy Halcyon Hearts. Thank you. Thank you so much. So this next piece of work, next piece of music was written by Morton Lordson, originally for a choral setting. It was set for a wind ensemble transcription back in the late 2000s by H. Robert Reynolds. And while the context of this piece is very, very sacred in text, if you will, what we talked about the other day is the idea of simplicity in music. Again, this idea of creating a scene, creating an image in one's mind. I brought up my own children. I have 2 adopted children from Phoenix, Arizona. They're part of the Navajo tribe. And I remember when we were called to go to when my daughter, my oldest, was first born, they called at 11 o'clock at night. I had like a double ear infection. I had strep throat and bronchitis all at the same time. It was bad. And so I got on the plane right away, and we had a layover in Minnesota, and then a layover, and then we had fly to Phoenix, Arizona, and my ears were completely like plugged. I couldn't hear anything. I was in so much pain and everything. And then when I got to the hospital with my husband, we went to the nursery where they had all the children, and where they had our daughter, if you will. They were cleaning her up. And as soon as they placed that little being in my arms, the weight of her in my hands, it was the most amazing experience of my life. The pain went away. The fact that I couldn't hear went away. And I was just like so filled with joy, my husband and I. And so as you're listening to this piece of music, I said the same thing to the students. You as parents that have done such a wonderful job of bringing up these incredible, incredible human beings, to be able to make music and to say something that transcends so much of humanity is pretty incredible. So this piece, in essence, is for you. Thank you for providing me the gift of working with these students and making music like this every day. Thank you. before we perform our last piece of the night, I just want to say a huge thank you, first of all, to so many people that have helped support our program here at Lexington Public Schools, our administration, our central office. We have an amazing new technical director, Carlton Ward. Let's give it up for him. Thank you, Carlton. I need to thank the amazing Friends of Lexington Music, Art, and Drama students, FULMADs, who are continuously supporting our programs from volunteering, providing support, financial things in terms of grants. A huge round of applause for them. FULMADs, thank you. And so there's this amazing music educator in Tennessee. His name is Franklin J. Willis. He actually works for the Country Music Association Foundation. He's an outstanding music educator, especially elementary school. And I went to one of his presentations this past month, actually, and he said something that was so striking. He said, it's not just music, it's through music. And when you think about that, yes, his product on stage is gorgeous in terms of how they're playing, how we sound, but at the same time, we're providing skills and lessons that our students will be able to take with them through their entire lives, whether they're gonna become a lawyer, whether they're gonna become a doctor, whether they're gonna be an astronaut, anything. It's amazing what kind of skills these students garner from being in the musical process. And the fact that all of you in this room are here to support and provide resources and really see the value, not just the appreciation, the value in music education is something that is truly so special here. Can we give a round of applause for the town of Lexington? Thank you so much. I love music, I love this job, I love supporting your amazing children. Thank you for having me as part of your community. We're gonna end today with Armenian Dances by Alfred Reed. Thank you.